because we can talk about Wolf's team in a minute, because there some really obscure picks on that side of the field. But yeah, Alex was playing in Indianapolis, I believe, the Mega Frostlass, Mega Dragonite team, changing up here and going with that Mega Charizard. He's got the Mammoth Swine, he's got the Oblivious ability, so that's really useful for ignoring Intimidates that would be otherwise a threat to weaken that attack stat. But with the Ice Shard, it gives you priority, and really in particular, it's great against Charizard enemy number 1, which is Garchomp.
But let's just dive into it to see what they're thinking heading into the first game here. Swiss round 4. We get aggressive and a little bit more passive coming out from Wolf. Toxapex right away hitting the field, whereas Alex is going to opt into his own Charizard next to King Gambit.
Make things even more difficult. If you trap that Charizard on Alex's side in, it's going to mean that it's difficult to kind of switch out and constantly chip for the rest of the game.
I mean, a little eyes. When we're not looking at a weather ward, but of course, Sun complementing both of them. Might as well go ahead and click that Mega Evolution and get that boost. Opposing Charizard Heat Wave will miss onto the Charizard over on Alex's end though, but when you're eyeing up that King Gambit, that's going to be that one that won't appreciate the hit. Already brought down into its focus sash. Of course, we'll be able to hang on for at least a little bit longer. Alex will connect both of his Heat Waves, but not really the same damage impact, kind of chipping away 1/4 over at both of them. Kowtow Cleave now trying to take down this Charizard, but just not enough damage there as Infestation. King Gambit only have 1 HP. Infestation will be enough to take it down.
Yeah, they're a really nice play for Wolf just to cover. If the King Gambit stays on the field, I'm going to make sure that I do get the knockout onto it. So damage from the Heat Wave from Alex's side, but nothing that you need to be too concerned about. Now Alex has the ability to try and set this Trick Room up with the Farigiraf. He gets initial damage. It could be whilst picking up a double up into that Farigiraf with an Infestation. It's going to hit super effective as well.
Okay, just going to be a Protect though. No damage done from Heat Wave into it, but will land its mark into Alex's Charizard now, as we'll have to see how much damage this Charizard can do in return. But of course, it will be enough as Connect to take down the opposing Charizard. But Toxapex still thinking around about half health. Now, did it target down into the Farigiraf for the Charizard? It will be the Toxic into the Charizard. So this is damage over time, and it gets to be a lot of damage with that bad poison.
Yeah, it's now on a timer, of course, and all as well, the stun is on a timer, so no matter of time this Charizard has left in this battle, it's going to be impactful. You've seen the damage so far. The Toxapex taking this Heat Wave so comfortably, right? You better be careful as well. Each and every time you click that, the Toxapex does have Wide Guard.
Incineroar and Toxapex will surely be able to hang around for another, and even more so now that it opts into the painful bunker. So protecting itself, Weather Ball does go out instead into the Incineroar. So just kind of do what you can. A good amount actually, bringing it down to about 1/3 of its health, despite not being very effective thanks to that critical hit. It does put it within range though for the Citrus Berry recovery. So we're looking a little bit better off as no damage into the Farigiraf. Incineroar swaps out.
It's a nice parting shot here just to mitigate the damage from that Farigiraf that's potentially going to threaten that Toxapex heavily. You know, the Psychic there doing some damage. That -1 not going to be as big a threat, especially when you've got another Psychic Pokemon in the back like a Sneasler that just entered the field. And this is where that Toxic chip's going to come in very useful, because we'll probably put that Toxic into range very soon, if not already. Question, do you go for Protect here and maybe just stall out another turn of that Toxic?
I mean, if you're not sure if it's enough damage, Protect, so it is enough next turn, good, but I mean, Toxapex just protected, so targeting into it definitely going to be a lot safer. And when you're trying to make sure you can finish off, actually no, Farigiraf targets into the Sneasler, so Toxapex, it sticks around, and that's going to be a second Pokemon for Alex that's now badly poisoned.
That Toxapex takes that Weather Ball so well then. You can see how much of a valuable Pokemon it is to be able to just get that Toxic into the Farigiraf. Now, if you can remove the Charizard on Alex's side with the Sneasler from Wolf.
Want to go for that damage, or switch out, but it won't be the Sneasler with the swap. Instead, the Toxapex into the Incineroar. So if it is a Psychic, not much will be happening, and of course, you can try and eat up these other Fire-type attacks, as Charizard will have a chance to go for one more. The survival, now the Weather Ball into the Sneasler, is enough to just cleanly pick this Pokemon off.
Yeah, that's a big survival from Charizard, showing how well actually trained that. He's got a lot of defense there to be able to take that Diaclaw, and now the Farigiraf with the remaining turns. He's going to set up the Trick Room now, and this might be beneficial to what is left in the back now that Incineroar's hit the field. But we're going to see that Toxic take down that Charizard when it's got plenty for its time on the field for Alex.
Yeah, Farigiraf though sticks around, though it is poison on a timer, but it's, you know, it will still be able to make use of a few more turns. Toxapex had just swapped out, so now we'll re-hit the field, but with the Trick Room, anticipating something a little bit slower coming out from Alex, and it will be the Sylveon.
To see what we're playing with going into the latter turns of this game.
And Farigiraf is just staying safe. The Protect coming out, Infestation, attempt to target into that, won't do anything. And now this single target. Incineroar, is it going to be enough? It is. Incineroar goes down. Now it's only the Toxapex left to try and clean this up, but Farigiraf still has so much health. It didn't get hit with the Infestation. And Sylveon, even if it's going to be recharging, it has full health and isn't poisoned at all.
Toxapex, I don't think we need to worry about getting get knocked out, but you can just stall things out and take it easy if you're Wolfey with that baneful bunker, just avoiding any attacks, unless allowing that Toxic to further chip down his burger. But probably got maybe one more turn after this. And all the time, that leftovers healing up that Toxapex, making it very difficult. But of course, not forget about this is very good. He's keeping this burger up in play.
It can do, but it now gives it a little bit more of a fighting chance. So it now is going to be put on its own timer with Toxic. But it's time to see how much this -1 Psychic can do into the Toxapex. And it's going to be enough to make a significant damage. Oh, that's not that much damage. And that'll be enough. Hyper Voice has the follow-up. Getting close, but with another turn of Protect, that leftovers recovery, and a trigger out that will be down before it gets to attack again. They still don't have enough to take it down.
With the Hyper Voice and with how much damage this Toxapex is taking, is going to be, again, very close. It's resisting the fairy type damage, but Sylveon with Fairy Feather got that boost as well. It's not straightforward, this. It's going to come down really close to the wire, but Wolf doing everything from the timers on these Pokemon. Hopefully, hoping this goes down now. Like you see, Trick Room's going to expire, but the Sylveon in that position where after that painful bunker can click. The Hyper Beam button, and that is the biggest attack it's got access to.
Full attack, but this thing has been bulky. If it is a Hyper Beam, it still will be able to hit through. If it's the Hyper Voice, though, the Wide Guard comes out to completely block it. But we will get the Hyper Beam. 7 HP into the Toxapex is going to be enough to take it.
Just doesn't have the offensive presence on the field. It's a really drawn-out, long game plan, whereas you want to be able to remove these threats before they're able to get that damage onto you.
Well, let's see if he can figure out how he can get it done here in game number 2. Is starting this off. Again, we'll get to see the run back of these Charizard with Toxapex. Once again, making
balls for Alex and help you out here.
I mean, we'll get to see at least a run back for how game 1 started with yet again Mega Charizard coming on out. Every single time. We'll have to see how this one can differ out if we do see heat waves yet again from both of these trainers, or a little bit of a deviation from the plan. Wolf, it will be a heat wave, this time connecting with both of the targets and bringing Kingambit yet again down into its focus sash. Have to see if we can get the double connect from the Charizard over on Alex's end, because notably no Wide Guard. Oh, the burn. Okay, we'll probably get an attack anyways, but this is going to definitely limit how much damage it can do on this turn. Heat wave can double connect. But the Kingambit, you kind of wanted to get a really powerful attack off, start chipping away at the Toxapex as most as possible, and that is just not great damage. And yeah, now Kingambit's gone.
Yeah, the burn really kind of putting the stoppers on Counter Cleave there into the Toxapex, changing target because of how problematic the Toxapex was in that game 1, prioritizing that Pokemon. He failed the Charizard is, and Alex has said so any damage onto it early on in this game is going to be so valuable going forward as well, while protecting that Toxapex for maybe the late game.
And it's not going to be with the Baneful Bunker. We're protected by switching out, but a new Pokemon to join the battle. Hydreigon hits the field. Heat Wave double connect again, chipping away so much at Alex's Pokemon, and a Heat Wave in return. But we saw how little it's been doing to Charizard. We're up like a 1/3 now, but the Hydreigon comes in, soaks up the hit. But you know, we're trading burns for burns, but at least with Hydreigon, it's just going to be damage over time. Now though, with that Trick Room, the dimensions are twisted, and the slower Pokemon are going to be faster going on out.
Yeah, and now getting that Trick Room up, really useful. Right, the Hydreigon, it can't protect you, so it's an easy target under Trick Room. It's not in its preferred situation where you can just get rid of it quite easily.
I mean, swapping out the Charizard, even if though Alex is assumingly slower, going to bring in an even slower Pokemon. And Wolf also taking the opportunity to switch with Incineroar hitting the field. Burgerap, though, not wanting to have taken a hit from that Charizard in its second round, will protect. But Snarl from this Hydreigon, it has to lock into one move. And Snarl, it doesn't do the most damage, but what it lacks in damage, it's going to make up for in, frankly, annoyingness with Sylveon, because that special attack drop is going to be massive.
In front of you right now, you're really tamed against these dog types. Hydreigon want to be kept for later, maybe when this Trick Room expires. And Toxapex coming in to soak up this potential Hyper Voice now that comes out, but Alex catching it on the switch.
That is a lot of damage. Again, so bulky. Special defense drop as well going into it. But now, Toxapex, it's getting lower.
You can see how really valuable that special defense attack drop was, and now the Incineroar reaping the rewards of the Sunbeam up and taking down a big threat to this Toxapex that's just into the field.
And that's going to be a bit of recoil, but the Toxapex is so low, but it will get a little bit of recovery. But now, where does Alex go from here? Because you lost a Pokemon that was so good within this Trick Room, and now Charizard is forced to hit the field.
It was around that 15 mark, but the Toxapex will probably be able to take a Hyper Beam. Yeah, so not even an option, and the Incineroar in a position where it can just throw a Flare Blitz into this Sylveon. Really huge damage.
I mean, it's trying to. It certainly tried to get that damage, but Sylveon will protect on this turn. Charizard with the Weather Ball again. We have the Sun. Incineroar not going to drop to it, though. Again, not very effective. It's close, but no dice. And Citrus Berry is going to kind of put it back to where it was.
Yeah, now that recovery probably puts it out of range from a Hyper Voice this next time around as well. Flare Blitz into the Sylveon. You know they protected last turn. Can you get it off here? If not, you take a Hyper Beam, go down, and Hydreigon can come back on and disrupt even further and support that Charizard.
I mean, we're not going to log in anything crazy. We're going to do what damage we can, and Hyper Voice just not enough to get it there. so Incineroar has the chance to fire off this Flare Blitz. Less damage, now this one's not there, but Sylveon, with so many burns this match, will get burned. And Recoil, it will be enough to take down the Incineroar, but that was the last turn of Trick Room. And yeah, Charizard on Wolf's end stays safe. The dimensions are now untwisted, and he'll be able to bring out another speedier Pokemon to try and help close this out.
Yeah, it can be that high Dragon. It will be able to pressure the opposing Charizard on Alex's side as well, which is really nice to know.
So of course, as you said, wide guard, make sure there's not going to be these heat waves, these hyper voices to be able to threaten on your side of the field. But you can threaten these heat waves all you want. Sylveon goes down, and Charizard 35 health left with that critical hit, but kind of just looks like a no ice. Now, I mean, if you go for your own heat wave, it does absolutely nothing. So we're one turn away from taking this into a game number 3.
Yeah, and it looks like we will be, a really nice turnaround from Wolf here and utilizing the high Dragon and make that Sylveon from what was such a formidable threat in game 1 to really, but the immediate pressure that you can stop putting on, I think, is really useful. And then that kind of opens up the door maybe for River to have a little bit of a freer time against Toxapex. But we've seen an adjustment like this, the high Dragon is going to throw up all sorts of issues.
A double adjustment though, because high Dragon in the lead now as opposed to being in a Trick Room situation.
And then that would allow Alex to get maybe some leverage with their own Charizard onto the opposing side. Because we saw the heat wave damage into the high Dragon. You need to start getting damage onto it early on in this game, putting it in range for something like Sylveon to come in later to try and help clean up.
But we're not going to see aggressive leads from both and Megas yet again. Of course, we have options for Alex's side of the field to protect either or both of these Pokemon, and Garchomp, understanding the pressure of something like a Draco Meteor, will go ahead and protect. So this Pokemon is safe for now. High Dragon is locked in because of that Choice Scarf and will be a Heat Wave to just try to get some damage onto this opposing Charizard, as that will bring it to just about half health with that critical hit. Now Alex has a chance to respawn. 2 Pokemon that do resist, but again, respectable damage into both is bringing, a critical hit. That's fair, right? That's fair. A crit for a crit.
Want to target into that slot
The
there.
double, the attempt.
For the double.
He tried to go for the double protect, and that could have been the safe off of Sylveon's there, but instead, no protect, no chance. Garchomp drops to the Draco Meteor. That was the adjustment going into this, and it has been instantly deleted. Now, Wolf has the opportunity to follow up the Charizard once again. This is single target damage now. The Charizard down to about 1/4 of its health left. And of course, you can go for your own Heat Wave, but not the most accurate. You're not going to hit the opposing Charizard. And again, High Dragon is going to be more than easily sticking around.
Yeah, that High Dragon doing the exact job it was brought for to dispatch all that Garchomp, but it was such a threat to the opposing Charizard on Wolf's side, right? Done its job now, can probably switch out, so it will get taken down to a Sash, and this is it.
We're going to go for it, but not enough. This one doesn't have the black glasses, so that damage, not enough there to drop the Charizard. It will be taken to Draco Meteor for sticking around. And of course, Wolf has the chance with the Charizard to double up yet again to try and maybe eliminate this Kingambit sooner rather than later. And of course, that Heat Wave was enough for the Charizard. And Kingambit, the Focus Sash was broken, so we get the double KO.
Yeah, really smart play from Wolf, identifying that the Focus Sash is on that Kingambit. I'm doubling into it. If I land this Draco Meteor into it, just need to do 1 HP minimum. Then I can clean it up, and there it is.
That is the match. The double KO is more than enough to secure it. And a statement of a game number 3 for Wolf Glick to take the set. I mean, that was so crazy. Both trainers with those adjustments, but that High Dragon, oh my goodness.
Going to jump into Swiss round number 2 at the North America International Championships, where Teotime Masal is going to face off against 2025 world champion Giovanni Siski. Teotime has a lot of experience with this team, just came off the back of a